2526. Leo Feller with us right now, chief economist at Numerator with a lot of good service to the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago as well. Leo, how do you color the K-shaped economy out of the tradition of the University of Chicago, of Gary Becker, of Steve Levine, of Freakonomics and all that? How do you, Leo Feller, construct a K-shaped economy?
Yeah, so we are looking at data from 200,000 households, and we see what they're buying, at their everyday purchases, what they buy from Walmart, what they buy from Costco, what they're buying from their grocery stores. And basically what we're seeing is that the higher income consumers, the top third, these are households that earn above 125,000, they've been able to maintain their spend on these everyday goods. It's really the bottom third, those that earn less than 60,000, that are cutting back. And then we can actually see what they're cutting back on. And this is where it gets really interesting, which is they're maintaining their purchases on groceries. They're maintaining somewhat their purchases on personal care products like deodorant and shampoo. What they're really cutting back on is all this general merchandise, things like apparel and toys and home goods. That's where you really see the inequality between these low and high income households.
Professor, what is the say-do gap?
Yeah, so we ask consumers how they think the U.S. is doing, and we ask them how they and their households are doing. So when we ask consumers, how do you think the U.S. is doing? The number one word is struggling. It's been struggling really since the better part of this past year. We see words like divided and terrible. There are some words that I'm not allowed to say on the radio, right? But we actually see consumers saying that the U.S. is really having a hard time. Then we ask consumers, well, how are you and your household doing? And overwhelmingly, the answers that we get are, okay, I'm doing fine, I'm maintaining, I'm comfortable. Only once we get to households in the bottom third do we start seeing words like struggling show up a little bit more. And then we can actually see what these households are buying. And they tend to be able to maintain these core purchases, these necessities. I think a lot of the struggling that people suggest is happening in this bottom third is, let me give you an example of something that we just saw over the holidays. Lower income households, those in the bottom third, still went out and bought food. They still went out and bought necessities. They just didn't go out and buy toys. They didn't buy apparel, right? They really cut back on these items. And so if you think about having a lackluster Christmas where you can't go out and buy presents for your family, that's the side that's struggling.
Leo Feller, is this normal? I mean, have we seen this before? To me, it's just like, is it like a normal America, or is it something unique right now?
I don't think this is a normal America. And, we've only been running these surveys for really the past 4 years. And over the past 4 years, it's been consistent. But the example that I can give you is we've done this same survey for Canada, where we ask Canadians, what one word would you use to describe the Canadian economy? And their number one word is united, beautiful, right? So, it seems to be right now an American phenomenon where consumers are so pessimistic about the U.S., even though they say themselves that they are doing okay, and even though they keep, spending on necessities.
I'm hearing stories, particularly over the holidays, that consumers are using AI in their shopping. How does that happen?
So it's beginning, right? We ran a survey and we asked consumers, what share of them are using AI. It's about 50%. Of those that are using AI, they're using it multiple times a week. And, the number one things that they're using it for are, help with homework, creative projects. And then 1/3 are using it for shopping, primarily for things like food and things like health and personal care products. Right now it's mostly people looking for recipes, people looking for ideas for how to cook, for how to make something, how to substitute one item for another. This is really still in its early days, and there's a lot of room for retailers to be able to, to help consumers figure out what it is that they're trying to buy, what are close substitutes, what do other people like them also buy using AI. But again, that's still in the early days. If you try to go and buy something using a chat GPT, it's still going to be more convenient for you to go to a store or to go directly to the retailer website.
I got 20 seconds. Leo Feller, you're qualified. Seahawks or Patriots?
Oh gosh, I I lived in Boston. It has to be the Patriots.
There we go. I knew anybody from Brown University. That's the way we roll.
Yeah.
Leo Feller, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Really, really wonderful. Some serious academics there, folks. Not blather, just some serious academics folded into statistics there. I thought he was going to say the Lions. That would have been shocking. Futures deteriorate, -41. The VIX is out almost two big figures, 20.93. With our news in New York City, Michael Barr.